NHL All-Star Weekend in Toronto is void of any VGK player after Jack Eichel goes down with the injury. Who would have been our choice to rep the Golden Knights? We'll talk about that next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas on this WTF Friday edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you doing so. And you can find us wherever you get your podcast. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/LockedOn. New customers that join today, you will get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. So, Chris, I think you are of the same opinion as me. I'm not real interested.
I almost fell asleep during the intro. Of course, I'm the same opinion of you.
Okay. I'm really not interested in this weekend's All-Star game. I'm not a big fan of those games anyway. And furthermore, we get a break over the weekend. We get a break by not having to report on a VGK player or players of a coach who's involved with the All-Star game, hungover or what have you. And we found out that after Jack Eichel went down, right, we found out that the NHL would not replace Jack Eichel with a VGK player, which is kind of bizarre, I thought. Who other than Jack Eichel deserved an All-Star nod? We'd have to start with Mark Stone, I would imagine, feel as though he got snubbed, the Stone snub. And for, Mark Stone, he's played in every game this season. We can't say enough, cannot praise him enough for what he's done. He already has 49 points, right? And I think, what was his career about? 64 points in the 14 and 15 campaign. He's on a record pace right now. He's on a heater when he was in Ottawa.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that was what his record pace was. I didn't know it was that. That's great.
I didn't realize it either until I finally read something for once.
Yeah, I'll take a deeper dive when I'm done yapping here in a second. But no, Mark Stone is definitely my first choice if it came to that. And I don't know, I'll save some of this for WTF at the end here. But definitely Mark Stone would be the first choice. And it's yes, it's the stats. Yes, he's played every game, but really he's taken, this is probably my fourth time saying it in about a 2.5 week span on this show, but Stone has really elevated his game going back to that Monday game against the Nashville Preds. It wasn't just the hat trick that night. That definitely helped, of course, but you see how he's battling for pucks. You see his game. You see him getting faster out there. You see him making better one-on-one moves. He's checking all the defensive boxes, just doing what he does in the neutral zone with the takeaways and everything. So Mark Stone has really elevated his game. And I mean, there's a lot of great captains in the National Hockey League. And I'd put Mark Stone, obviously this is a homer perspective, but Mark Stone up near the top of the job that captains do for their team and leading them, and especially through the toughest of times, which is what the Golden Knights really are having right now. But as Captain Stone says, no excuses mentality. That's it. No excuses. And, follow what he's doing out there. And the team will continue to stack some wins while they're still down many key components.
It's unreal that he's played in every single game. And then on top of that, on a record pace for total point production. Just incredible. Other than him, Jonathan Marchessault probably would be deserving of an all-star bid. 40 points, very much deserving. Marchessault was an all-star just that one time when he was on the last men in ballot in 2022, I think it was.
The Vegas year. It was the Vegas year. I know that much.
Yeah. So last man in. So they legitimately deserve some sort of an honor and a bid.
Yeah, no, I mean, Marchessault definitely, he's leading the team in goals, which obviously is why I think he got the Conn Smythe last season over Jack Eichel because Eichel led in points, but Marchessault is the one, potting the goals and everything. And, who do you go to on this team to score a big goal in a big circumstance, whether it's to get the team out of a funk, whether it's to get a big goal in a big game. And, he certainly has picked up right where he left off. And I mean, when the dust settles, the way he's picked it up, Marchessault should get right about 40. I mean, he's on a really, if you take away like his current pace, that definitely throws off his current overall pace for an 82 game season. But that said, if you just look at the numbers and nothing else, he's pacing for what, 42, 43, goals or something. And if he continues this pace, he'll get 50. As goofy as that sounds, if you take his 2-week pace and make that an 82 game season, that's over 50 goals what he's doing right now. It's remarkable, and I love it.
The only thing that could stop him from doing that is Eichel's return because they fight over the puck. No. Vincent Trocheck, by the way.
It honestly wasn't that bad. I don't know where you were going, but that wasn't too bad. That was a flush wound at the worst.
Okay. Vincent Trocheck of the Rangers actually replaced Eichel. But who makes that decision on whether or not you replace one team member with a teammate? I'm just curious how that works out.
I mean, I heard under the table that players from the Golden Knights denied to go. I don't know how solid that is.
They turned it down, you mean?
I heard multiple players from the Golden Knights turned it down. I don't know how solid that is, so that's why I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, that's interesting. And then about the All-Star game itself and all the festivities, Michael Bublé talking about taking mushrooms there on the podium today, rather bizarre. Yeah, just talking hockey, and then he goes into something about taking mushrooms and how surreal it was to be on the ice with all these NHL players. So that's where this was headed, up there in Toronto. Very interesting. But are you going to watch the game?
I wasn't sure if I was going to have to comment on that or not. I don't know what the heck Michael Bublé was doing.
I could have set you up there. Yeah. No, check it out.
I mean, well, I didn't watch it, and I'm definitely glad I didn't watch it. Am I going to watch? The only reason that I am going to have interest in this is because Christopher, my son, does have a lot of interest in it. So we're really excited to watch the skills competition together. Now, I haven't looked at the schedule for the skills competition. When I say that, you have the hardest shot, you have fastest skater, you have the goofy breakaway drills and all of that. But I want to know what fluff they're doing this year. If they're doing some nonsense garbage outside the stadium that just takes everything away. Like, unless they're shooting pucks off the CN Tower and trying to get them to land inside the Sky Dome or whatever it's called, keep everything inside the stadium as far as I'm concerned. Career best, just really fast here. You talked about Marchessault. Marchessault's got 25 goals. His career high
30
is 30 goals. It's 30.
I thought. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at just so much good right now, but I don't know. I want to see what the fluff is for the All-Star game tomorrow while you talk about whatever you want to talk about now.
No, I'm going to throw us to break right now, and we'll talk about next VGK's injuries. They added up as they headed into the All-Star break. This is reminiscent of a couple of seasons ago. We'll talk about VGK leading in man games lost due to injury when we return right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Fans, it is about that time. I've been on the strip the last couple of days, and you could just feel all the energy as the Super Bowl is coming here to Las Vegas once and for all here in just a matter of a little over a week. And America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel, is welcoming the National Football League as well. And if you are like us, Super Bowl Sunday is an extravaganza. And again, when you have fun, you're watching the games and you're placing a lot of your wagers, including a lot of those fun prop bets, which we'll talk about next week. FanDuel has so many ways for you to end the season with a W or 2 or even 3. Not only can you bet on who will win the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 58, but FanDuel also has bets for which player will score a touchdown, how many points will be scored, and so much more. New customers, if you join today, you will get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to sign up. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in. We thank you so much, especially those that have subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is Locked On Golden Knights. Of course, coming up in our final segment today is WTF, What the Friday. And on Saturdays, it's the Chris and Chris Show, the YouTube exclusive, and you want to check that out. I have a little pub here I need to get to. So starting on Saturday morning, at 8 a.m. from 8 to 9, my show is moving. Well, no, we're going to have a simulcast. So 98.5 HD2 here in Las Vegas. The Bet, it'll be on that station as I've been for the last couple of years now, I guess. But also simulcast now on 101.5 KDWN. So tune in there around the valley. Okay, should we count Robin Lehner's 50 games missed against the Golden Knights total number of 243 man games lost?
No, I mean, I don't know.
No.
The interesting thing, like the wording is, this is really interesting here. So when you look at NHL injury viz, it says excluded players, retired or unwanted under contract all season. Isn't Robin Lehner the definition of unwanted? I'm sorry to be like every other fan dumping on Robin Lehner, but like I don't know how they classify it, but it doesn't get any more unwanted than Robin Lehner in Las Vegas. Let's be completely honest with each other for a second here.
Yeah, that number's high, but definitely misleading because 50 games that Robin Lehner has missed. Of course, we knew that would happen. 2 seasons ago, VGK over 500 man games lost. And can this, once again, hurt the chances, if this continues on this path, hurt the chances of VGK not even falling down in the standings, but missing the playoffs?
I mean, that was a very in-play statement.
By me?
Got my schedule here. I was grabbing my schedule here. So that statement was really, really in play going back to the Christmas road trip, Carolina, Tampa, and really into the early part of January. And then obviously the Golden Knights picked things up and things got better. So I wrote an article for Vegas Hockey Now talking about like the path to the playoffs and such, and how many points, like checkpoints, how many points at certain checkpoints the Golden Knights needed where they'd be comfortably in there. And the Golden Knights are exceeding that level right now. And there's nothing to suggest that the Golden Knights are going to slow down a whole lot because, I mean, William Karlsson is coming back. That's going to help the team despite what Tony says. Shea Theodore, Jack Eichel, we'll see when that's going to happen. Ben Hutton, we'll see when that's going to happen. But everything is pointing to the fact that players will be trickling in between Tuesday against Edmonton. Got a game in a few days. Tuesday against Edmonton, and then for the rest of the season. So to answer your question, could more injuries knock him out of the playoff hunt? You bet, of course. I mean, if Mark Stone were to go down, right now, this team is screwed. Let's just say it. I can't say it any other way than that. If Stone goes down right now, the Golden Knights would be in a terrible spot.
So Shea Theodore has missed 30 legitimate games. His wife had posted on social media. They were in Cabo with the family there, with him and his wife and other couples, and the month of November, I think, was mentioned there.
Something's coming.
But his wife reportedly told the other couples that they had to stay till the end of the trip in Cabo.
There it is. I knew that was coming.
I don't know. I just threw that out there. But that was okay? Was that okay?
That was fine. I mean, I would have been depressed if you wouldn't have put that on there. Looking at this man game loss chart. So if you take away 50 from Lehner, call it 200. Make it easy here. Other teams that are at or above, right around that 200 point or above. Chicago not getting in the playoffs. San Jose not getting in the playoffs. Washington, I haven't tracked them recently, but I think right around the playoff bubble, 183. Columbus 175, no. Colorado 171. They're going to be just fine. Other teams, Anaheim, no. Montreal, no. 189, 246 man games lost. Toronto 185. They're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't know what they have once the playoff starts because they're Toronto, and that's just how that goes. So you look at the Golden Knights compared to the other teams that are around them, that have all these man games lost, that really you got to give a lot of credit to the Golden Knights. You got to give a lot of credit to Coach Cassidy for keeping things together, and McCrimmon for having enough depth, and even Ryan Craig, and going back to Manny Vivros for developing players like Brisson, their work with Dennis Senko, Lucas Cormier, Sheldon Rempel, Jonas Ronbjerg. I'm sure I left a couple. Keaton Korzak. He's been amazing this year in his role. So a lot of good has happened despite all these man games lost. And it's February 1st. I can't help to wonder if Eichel or Theodore misses the rest of the season. And then all of a sudden, got some money to burn. McCrimmon's going shopping.
That would be really interesting. And yes, we'll see if they hit that 500 man games lost plateau. Of those 10 teams that you mentioned, how many amongst the top in man games lost are in playoff positions about?
We'll put Washington about.
Okay.
We'll put Colorado definite.
Okay.
Toronto in.
VGK is okay. 4.
Vancouver's at 171. You got to give them a lot of credit for
5.
what they're doing right now.
Okay.
But the other important number is
the
salary of these players. Of course, Robin Leonard is probably counting too, so maybe that doesn't matter as much for the Golden Knights. But so of the 10 or so I mentioned, 3 or 4 are playoffs, so you got to give credit. And on the other side of this, Edmonton Oilers, they're doing great right now, right? Let's talk about how lucky they've been. 49 man games lost for like an average salary per game of $1.4 million. So Edmonton's on the right side of injury variance. Golden Knights are on the wrong side of injury variance. The Golden Knights and Edmonton, we'll call them tied for all intents and purposes in the standings, because I think the Oilers actually have a slight lead in the standings if you factor in, I thought I had NHL.com up, but I don't. If you factor the winning percentage, if the season ended today, I think the Oilers would actually be ahead of the Golden Knights. So, it's important, kind of going off a little bit here, getting to that first seed in the Pacific, right? You get the first seed of the Pacific, you're going against, possibly Nashville, LA, Seattle if they crawl up. Or if you get the second and third, it's going to be Vancouver or the Edmonton Oilers in the first round. Golden Knights handled Vancouver fine, and they have good history against the Oilers, but you'd rather get that cookie for the first round and let 2 and 3, cannibalize each other.
I say watch out if Edmonton in that first game back defeats VGK and has a ton of momentum, then I think that they surpass the VGK. I really do.
Oh,
that's that big of a game.
You mean overall, like that game could be a telltale of how? Yeah, I don't know. Are we going to put that much weight into an Edmonton Oilers potential victory over the Golden Knights with a completely healthy lineup? And you take Eichel, Theodore, and we'll see if Carlson actually plays or not in this game. I mean, I don't know. If they blow the Golden Knights out 6-1, yeah, that's a wake up call. If it's a 3-2 overtime game or 4-2 type game, Edmonton wins and the Golden Knights play well, we're not gonna hoist them up on the pedestal. They're still the Oilers until proven otherwise. And Knobloch has 0 playoff coaching games in the NHL. So don't get me started on that one.
Coming up next, it's that time of the week once again. It is time for WTF, early. What the Friday. You don't want to miss it right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back, Locked On Golden Knights, this Friday edition, which we're recording on Thursday night. That's why we're a little spicy, I think, a little on edge, perhaps. I threw the Theodore wife joke in there. We appreciate everyone making us your first listen each and every day. And thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. So, WTF, I'll start things off here. So, Chris, according to Cap Friendly, Ladybug Logan Thompson, Ladybug, not
Logan Thompson,
not E-Bug, not E-Bug.
Or Logan.
So Thompson leads the league currently in the cost per save rankings. Cost per save. So every save that he makes, based on his low, extremely low salary, each save worth $960. Lucas Dostal of Anaheim is second at $1,227 per save. WTF, Ladybug Thompson deserves to make more money.
I mean, okay, so I'll back you up on Logan Thompson here. Someone's chirping me. I forgot what this. I don't know. Some looks like a troll account because people are afraid to use their real name on Twitter because they say dumb things. Don't want people to know who they are. But someone's chirping me saying Logan needs to go. This team can't win. Whenever Logan Thompson plays, the Golden Knights lose. Well, Logan is 16-10-4 this season. Goals against are a little high at 2.7. Save percentage a little above 900. Couple bad games. Fine, whatever. But when Logan was in his true role, chopping up 60 and 40% of the starts, Logan was really good. I believe both goalies were top 10 at one point in save percentage, or looking at the rankings that Money Puck throws out there for goalies. So people just forget so fast. And this clown is chirping that, Patera could be the backup, or the goalie should go and trade for Jonathan Quick. Like, it doesn't work like that. This is not a video game. You don't just go and trade for another team's best goaltender, Tony. Jonathan Quick is the best goaltender on the Rangers right now. How do you feel about that? So it just doesn't work like that. And I mean, Yuri Patera he's barely had a cup. He's not even had a cup of coffee yet in the NHL. He's played 5, 6, 7 starts or something like that. I'm not knocking Yuri Patera. He's doing fine.
He's cup worthy. You can't knock him. He's cup worthy.
He's on the cup. There you go, Tony. He's on the cup. So is Braden Pahal. But
you really want to get me going, don't you?
Kerry Buboltz is not on the cup. That'll get.
He's not on the cup. No.
But going back to my WTF here, like Logan, when I said he can step on a ladybug in this town and get dragged for it, I meant it. Like people, it's borderline infuriating and sad to me how just under a microscope Logan Thompson is. But Adin Hill gets beat 3 times to his glove since he came back. Oh, that's okay. No problem. He won his games. Okay, fine. I mean, when Adin Hill let in that awful goal against the Flames a while back to where the Flames won in overtime, no big deal. No big deal. But if, God forbid, Logan Thompson does anything that's not perfect, everyone jumps on him. And I'm not saying anything negative about Adin. I'm just simply pointing out the fact that Golden Knight fans just have all this anger, and I don't want to say hate, that's not the right word to use, but they have this hate towards Logan Thompson right now. And it's unfortunate. It really, really, really is. And I hope that changes. I mean, I don't know what else the dude has to do to prove that he's a good goalie. So WTF, everyone that continues to chirp Logan Thompson. Knock it off.
So
bad voice.
Ladybug Thompson, do you feel that if he's playing, platooning with Adin Hill, they're both healthy, he'll be a better goaltender? Do you feel that way?
I can't say that because the stats don't support that. I argue with people all the time about stats and stuff like that. So Adin Hill, the entire season, has been the NHL's best goalie in save percentage and goals against, I believe. So it would be silly of me to try and argue that Logan is a better goalie. Logan's a more reliable goalie. I will say it like that. Logan starts more games. Adin has 2 really good starts since coming back from a midterm injury. We'll call it midterm, right? 20 games, quarter of the season. But there's still 30-something games to go. Can Adin hold up? Like, is Coach Cassidy really going to go 20 and 12 starts for the 2 goalies? I think Coach Cassidy is going to maybe go a little too hard on Adin. I don't know. Because, I mean, the trust isn't there in Logan. We know that. Listen to Cassidy talk in the pressers. Call it what it is.
The goaltender. He calls him too. He calls him the goaltender.
He's not the other guy yet. So give him that. That's when it gets bad.
Okay, we've got some of our listener viewer comments. Larry DeLeon at Larry_DeStreet. WTF, you think San Bernardino Bruce will come back looking like DJ Pauly D after the All-Star break? GTL is the hashtag. Jim Tan Laundry, Jersey Shore. Love it. Absolutely love it. And yes, on the tanning index, I say, man, Bruce has got to come back with the big-time tan. He has to, right? South Beach Bruce? San Bernardino Bruce? I call him San Berdue Bruce. From Nikki Roberts. At Nikki_Roberts 98, not about VGK, but about the NHL being so cryptic about when the PWHL showcase is. They kept posting saying 6, but I'm sure it's at best. They also didn't mention it once on ESPN2 on the broadcast with the draft and everything else. The draft mic situation was ridiculous. So I'm guessing it's some steam against the NHL in its support of the PWHL, right?
Why in God's name, just going to talk for a second, you can get
Why
back
don't we
to
have
it.
why don't we have one of those franchises here?
No. Why doesn't every NHL franchise have a PWHL franchise attached
No,
to it?
yeah, we should have one here in Vegas. We should definitely have
32
one here.
NHL teams, 32 PWHL teams. Boom. Huge.
WTF. Close it with WTF. WTF. This is from T.A. Neiman. And it says, WTF, the NHL not selecting another VGK player to go in Jack's place, what we talked about earlier. No VGK presence at the All-Star weekend. Chance does not count. LOL.
Mark
Chance the Raptors there? How did he get the All-Star bid?
I will say it was pretty cool. Chance was wearing a Roman Reigns acknowledge me shirt underneath his suits on the red carpet. I thought that was kind of cool. So, all right. So here we go. WTF. I was actually listening to the All-Star Game Media Day on the NHL Network. Always good hearing them talking to all the coaches and the players. Steve Coolius does a great job. Mick Kern as well. I love Mick Kern from the NHL Network. Awesome dude.
You need to be back on that show again soon. Okay.
I should. Yeah, I'll hit up Mick. I'll see if I can get back on his show. He's got the best show in my opinion. But going on, so you heard him saying, and no players turned down the All-Star game this year. No one, they were like saying there was no one going to get suspended, and just really tooting the horn, I guess, about the fact that everyone is happy to be at the All-Star game and no one turned it down. But I don't know if that's entirely accurate from what I mentioned earlier. I did hear some Golden Knights were possibly asked, and no, we're not going. I don't know exactly how that works because obviously there's no suspensions and stuff. I don't know what's in place to replace a player, but I would have to think that the NHL intended on getting a VGK there if Eichel wasn't going to be there. But I'm also assuming, again, a lot of assumptions right now. So if someone wants to drag me, I'm saying I assume I don't know, but I'm assuming they can't tell a player they have to go. So
because it's rigged.
There we go. So NHL Network, WTF, you might have been a little bit off the ball in your comments. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. WTF. Did you see the photo with Cherry Bear, the Bournemouth mascot? Yeah. In town for this announcement, a partnership between AFC Bournemouth and the Downtown Las Vegas Soccer Club, which is youth
What is
soccer.
the Downtown Las Vegas Soccer Club? Please forgive me.
No. It's a youth soccer club, basically. And that's what it is. And then they're going to be supporting each other.
I was wondering what that meant. Okay.
But it's youth soccer.
Okay, good.
It's a youth soccer league. I think it's independent of the Las Vegas Lights. But yeah, so in any event, the Cherry Bear, which I think is a pretty cool name, rather than whatever Chance the Raptor is. Cherry Bear.
Now you're dissing Chance.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Crump. WTF as well. The NHL All-Star Draft. WTF. It was just painful to watch. It's not good television, folks. They do the draft. It just wasn't good.
Who was the ESPN host? He was like trying to
was it Levy?
Jokes and stuff. No, it wasn't Levy.
I couldn't really hear it very well. I was not at home, so I saw it and I was like, "What is going on?"
I didn't go out of my way to watch it. I caught some of the Twitter stuff and was watching, and like the players are sitting there wearing skates and like skating up and stuff, like in their dress pants and all that. Like, I don't know if there's a better. I mean, okay, here's what they should have done. Old school, Tony. I don't know if you ever played much hockey growing up, but what we used to do in the tennis courts growing up playing hockey, we would get 10 or 12 of us together, all drop our sticks in the middle. Someone covers their eyes and throws one stick here, throws one stick here, throws them out, and boom, there's your two teams. You start playing. Perfect. Why don't we do that? Do something fun.
Yeah, they should have done something fun.
Or do a dunk tank.
It back.
Do a dunk tank. I don't know.
That would have been kind of cool too. What are the skills competitions? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, no, I pulled it up actually while we were kind of gabbing. I hope I still got it up here. Nice. All right, so it actually looks like they're keeping all the events inside. So this is an improvement. We'll start with this. So the Fastenal NHL Fastest Skater, good. No one's going to get a stomach ache there. Tim Hortons one-timers, get some coffee. Scotiabank NHL Passing Challenge. Hardest shot, that's always fun. Stick handling, this is always fun. They always do different bubbles in that. I say bubble, like not bubbles, but little changes and stuff. But it'll be fun watching the guys stick handle and such in tight quarters. Accuracy shooting, I'm assuming that's the quick release where they're about 12 feet away and they got to hit the four corners and stuff like that. Then there's something new. Honda NHL one-on-one. Okay, they choose a goalie they go against. So that's going to be the goalie with the most saves. Okay, we've seen that one before. Right. And then this is interesting.
The goalies don't really try. They don't even try that anyway.
Well, okay. No, this one they do try, and the goalie gets the goalie with the most saves gets $100,000. So that one they actually do kind of try, but not a whole lot.
All right.
And then you got at the end, I'm not sure what the deal is with this. You have the Pepsi NHL obstacle course. Top 6 point earners from events 1 through 7 will participate. Ooh, the points are doubled. They're going to double the points that round, Family Feud style. So we'll see exactly. I mean, God, that would suck if they take them outside the stadium or something for that last event. But so it seems like everything is inside the stadium. I mean, I was talking with someone right before the show, actually, and my comment was, starting with Vegas, the NHL All-Star Game started to suck. And I'm not knocking Vegas. Vegas does a great job with everything. But the way the NHL had the Bellagio fountain, the blackjack thing outside.
Last year, it was cheesy and embarrassing.
Last year, they did one cool thing outside. They did a dunk tank where they had a player in the dunk tank and then they shot him. That was cool on the beach.
Logan Thompson.
They did this golf thing that was just tough to watch.
That was pathetic. That was in Florida last year.
So they're in Toronto. They're in.
You can report on the All-Star Game. You can report on Monday on it. No, okay. We appreciate everyone.
If Chris really wants to watch it, I'll watch, and we'll enjoy it together. But I don't know. We're going to see monster trucks at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Saturday. So,
monster trucks are there.
Monster trucks are going to be at the Speedway on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Because Boyd Stadium no longer in existence, right?
No.
So that's why they moved
out there today. I think the wetlands were on fire today. I don't know if you saw that or not.
If they're wetlands, how could they catch fire? Again, we'll be back on Monday. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. We thank you so much. Don't forget Saturday morning, it's the Chris and Chris exclusive show on YouTube. And on Saturday morning, I will be on the simulcast now at Odyssey, 98.5 HD2 The Bet, and now on 101.5 KDWN Las Vegas. From my man Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco saying so long for now. We'll see you again on Monday. There's a game next week. It's back to the action. It's the big Edmonton game. A lot of talk, a lot of chatter about that, and much, much more coming up on Monday's show. We'll see you again next time right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.